Let's go to Louisa in Denver, Colorado. Louisa, what's going on?
So I am calling because I lost my... Sorry, let me try to get through this.
No, you're good. Hey, Louisa, take your time, okay? Take your time.
Okay. I lost my 16-year-old son to suicide 29 months ago.
Man.
And I just can't seem to get past the grief, the pain, the guilt. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to move forward. I feel like I take steps forward and then just go right back to day one.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. What was his name? Luis. How old was he? He was 16, you said?
16. Mm-hmm.
Tell me what happened.
Luis suffered from mental illness, depression, anxiety, PTSD. But, we were doing all the things. Therapy, had support at school, had support at home. And just the morning of his death, him and I got in a huge fight. And, I can't even remember the details of the argument. He had spent some time with his dad that morning, and then we were leaving for a birthday party, and he didn't want to go, and wanted to do his own thing, and it just snowballed quickly, very, very quickly, and screaming and yelling. And I told him, you know what, we're going to go, we're going to do our own thing. You say, you go do your thing. Your dad's coming for you, do your thing. And we left. And I have 2 younger children who left with me. And we got home and found him.
Yeah. Golly. You saw something that no mother's ever supposed to see or experience.
Right.
I'm so sorry. Wow. And so walk me through what's life's been like the last 2.5 years now, or 2+ years.
It's very hard because I'm a school counselor.
Oh, geez, Louise.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know all the answers, Louisa.
I should know all of that, right? Like, I should have saved him, and I should have been able to keep him alive. That's my job as a mom. That's my job as a mental health professional. And so that's where a lot of the guilt comes from, is I should have known and did better. And I feel like I didn't. And I try now to it's very hard working with other kids in the same situation or similar situations. And it constantly re-traumatizes me.
Yeah.
My little ones are doing okay, but I feel like my job is to make sure they're supported and they're taken care of. They have the therapy, they have the support. I also have a 21-year-old son, and I feel like my job is to protect him now. So it's hard. I struggle every day with making decisions, just knowing what to do, not breaking down in front of my children, not breaking down in front of students I work with.
Yeah. So, man, there's so much. And if I was with you right now, with your permission, of course, I would hug you for the next 10 minutes and not say a word. You've probably had plenty of well-meaning yet painful recommendations and advice and little pithy sayings given to you over the last couple of years. And you've probably looked at all the blogs and all the, the books and all the stuff, right? Have you got counseling on your own?
I did in the beginning, and then I stopped because I had to take care of everybody else.
Yeah. Whew, man. So I don't want to presume that to just jump in here and start throwing stuff at you. So, how can I walk alongside with you in this? I've got 1,000 things circling through my head, but I want to know what you need right now.
I guess my biggest thing is like, I know what I need to do, right? Like, I know I need the therapy. I know I need to take care of myself. But I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to stay on track with anything. I don't know how to commit to anything. So how do I do that? How do I make a commitment to start therapy again? How do I don't know. I don't even know where to start or what to do or
The conversation we're about to have is better had in person, okay? And you're a mental health professional. I'm just a pretend guy on the radio, right? On a podcast. But this conversation's better had in person, but we're going to have it over the phone. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Couple things I'm hearing that I want to jump in the middle of, okay? And some of this, you know what I'm about to say. I'm going to say it anyway because you got to hear it, okay? And this is probably the same stuff you've told parents in your career. Probably better than I'm going to tell you. But your son passing is not your fault. And you've beat up my friend Louisa for 2.5 years now. And you can't fully help your kids that are still with you. You can't fully honor Louisa's memory. You can't fully help the kids that you help at school until you stop beating up yourself. Until you forgive you, set stuff down, and breathe. Okay? Until you believe, and don't just say it out loud, but until you believe that you're worth being loved and you're worth being okay, you're not, this stuff's going to stay this close to the surface. And you think all of this is about him right now, but it's not. It's about you right now. How many times have you replayed that morning in the last 2 years?
Oh, daily.
Yeah, exactly. And your body has spent the last 2.5 years looking for every possible moment this could happen again, and you haven't taken a full breath in 2 years. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. And your identity as a mom was shattered. Your identity as a counselor was shattered. Your identity as a protector and a provider was shattered. And all that's true. And so healing moving forward is about building a new identity, about living into something new. And until you stop trying to regain what was and start living into what is and what will be, my friend, you're gonna feel like you're treading water in a really rough seas. And every third breath, you're gonna be breathing in water. Do you believe this is your fault? Be honest. Be honest.
Of course, yes.
Have you ever heard me lie to anybody?
No.
Okay, I'm not starting today. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Your son was hurting for a long, long time. And I don't think that he wanted to die. I think he wanted to stop hurting. And one of the great demons of the great lies of a mind that is struggling with suicide is they believe they're a burden to other people. And they look for every possible shred of evidence to back that story up. It becomes a vacuum, right? And he turned a Saturday morning spat that every mom and every son and every parent and every kid and every brother and every sister and every coworker have into a story that it wasn't. And it's not because he was trying to be ugly or mean, it's because he wasn't well.
Right.
And like the mother who's driving down the road 5 miles an hour below the speed limit and the kid runs out in front of the car hit him, but that wasn't her fault. And this was the fight, the yelling, the permanent solution to a short-term problem is not on you. And if nothing else in this phone call, I want you to hear me tell you, I love you. Your kids love you. And this is not your fault. Will you say those words out loud?
This was not my fault.
Thank you. And you said it with a question mark at the end of it, but I'll let it go this time, okay? So in my work in crisis work, one of the things I ran up on that surprised me, and I've talked about on this show several times, is I ran up against my own limitations, which I didn't know existed. When I got called to a few scenes that involved young children, and I had a baby little girl, and I left, and I found there was a limit. And so as we walk through, what do you do next? What does healing look like for you moving forward? How do you get the gumption to even take care of yourself? I want you to keep in mind that for a season, I had to not be in that environment with that particular group of people so that I could heal.
Yeah.
And it may mean that for the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 1 semester, whatever that looks like, that working in mental health with teenage kids is going to prohibit you from healing. That doesn't mean it's a forever thing. In fact, I don't think it's a forever thing. In fact, I think you become one of the most powerful voices in the country on this. But you got to heal first. You can't show your scar around. You can't show your scars and talk about your scars while they're still bleeding. And so healing in this in your walk starts with you even thinking you're worth healing, because right now you don't. You think you're a mom that failed. You think you're a mental health professional that failed. And until you think you're worth breathing again and smiling again and sleeping again and laughing again, until you believe that, your body's going to keep going to war with you. And so I've heard it multiple ways, and I don't care which way you find it, because right now you're still in survival mode. I've had veterans tell me that they got home and lost some of their partners on the battlefield, that every day of their life is in memory of, in service to those who didn't come home. Great. I've heard people who lose a child say, I'm going to stand up and live for me because I deserve it. Great. I'm going to live for I'm going to make meaning of this. I'm not going to let my child have passed in vain. I'm going to make sure that there's no more drunk drivers on the road, that no more young kids take their life, whatever this looks like, that my kid, no other kid ever gets cancer like my kid did. I don't care how you do it or why you do it, but you've got to have an arrow that you are pointing towards. You got to have a marker somewhere, and it will change over time, but you got to have something that says, this is the light worth getting out of bed for. Because right now, your light that you're getting out of bed for is not true. It's a bunch of shoulds. And you thought you should have protected him, and now you're just hell-bent on protecting everybody else to the point that you're neglecting yourself and probably suffocating them a bit. Is that fair?
Fair. Very fair.
Here's what really sucks, is it's been 2 years, and I don't think you've grieved yet. I think you've been hurting like bloody hell for 2 years, but I don't think you've started grieving yet. And this is going to be the hardest thing I say on this whole call, and I'll get choked up here if I'm not careful. There's going to have to come a moment when you forgive Luis. And there's going to have to come a moment when you tell Luis that I love you. And there's going to have to come a moment when you open your hands and let Luis go. And no mama ever ever should have to let her baby go. And that doesn't have to be today. That doesn't have to be tomorrow. That doesn't have to be in 3-4 weeks. But until you let Luis go, not that you're not going to remember him, not that you're still going to have photos up. Of course, you're going to have those things. Of course, you're going to develop a scholarship for him, and you're going to give a talk to a local school about kids and mental health. You're going to do those things. His memory will stay alive. But you're still sitting on the floor of your home, hugging his body. Right?
Yeah. Just like haven't been able to separate that of like, yes, his memory still lives on, but I can't let him go.
That's right. And this is one of those things, man, that I know listeners probably this time who listen to this conversation roll their eyes at this point, but at some point, you write him his letter, his goodbye letter. Have you done that yet?
No.
And as a mental health professional, you know that's what you got to do, but you got to tell him goodbye. And whether you go out to his grave and you read it to him, or you write it and you take it out to the lake and let it out into the water, whatever that looks like for you. But you're going to have to tell him you're sorry. You're going to tell him you forgive him. You're going to have to tell him you love him. You have to tell him that you're going to do your best you can to make meaning of what happened and live, and that you're going to laugh again and you're going to smile again and you're going to find joy again, whatever that looks like. And that's going to be years and years and years. So here's a couple of things that you said that I want to make sure I touch on, okay? And I know right now you may not even be hearing me anymore, but I want you to go back and have this to listen to, and also the people listening, okay?
Okay.
It's really important that you don't hide your grief from your other kids, because they feel it at different levels too, and they need to know that they're not crazy and that mom's not a robot. And so if they come in and it's right up there on the surface, or his birthday comes up, or Christmas happens and there's not a stocking on the wall with his name on it, and you just have one of those, or one of those moments you just come out of the bathroom and it hits you. And one of your kids is with you and you're on the floor, curled up, weeping, let your kids come hug you. Don't hide that from them. And if they say, "What's wrong, Mama? What's wrong?" Say, "I really, really miss Luis. I miss him today." Say the words out loud. Grief demands a witness. And you're not protecting them by hiding from them, okay?
Okay.
Here's the second thing. I don't know what you think you're supposed to be feeling right now, but grief is from Kessler's work, man. Grief is as unique as your fingerprint. There's no right way to do this. You do have to keep paying your bills, and you do have to keep eating, and you do have to keep moving your body, and you do have mouths to feed in your home. But you're allowed to hurt, and you're allowed to feel like you are underwater, and you're allowed to wake up on Saturdays and say, "I just can't do it today." That's when the hard work you have to do is to make sure you've got somebody you can call that will come pick up your kids and go play. Is that fair?
Fair.
Can't do this by yourself. The journey moving forward is having a light, having a purpose, having a reason. You may have to take some time for healing and then go back to work. Maybe you have to switch to the classroom, work in the lunchroom. I don't care. Be an administrator. I don't know. I know that every state's different with how they are able to move people around, but it may just be a season where you need some healing and you'll come back strong. Or you say, "Dude, I'm out of this. I'm going to start a lawn business." I don't know, right?
Right.
But I threw a lot of stuff at you. Tell me where your heart's at right now. Obviously, you don't feel better, and I knew that in this phone call. And obviously, you don't have all your answers, but tell me what's going on in your heart and mind.
I'm sorry. I just, that's, I think, a big part of why I reached out to you as well, is because I'm really struggling with leaving the profession in general.
Yep.
As part of my healing and taking a different route to just heal in a different way and to help people in a different way, not the mental health aspect, but a different way. And so this is good to hear for my own journey.
Here's who you are, Louisa. You are someone who helps other people.
Yeah.
And if I got fired tomorrow, if I lost my job, if nobody listened to this podcast ever again, and I started working at Burger King, I would be somebody who wanted to help people there.
Yeah.
And if I went to be an elementary school teacher again, like I did one chaotic, crazy year, I would want to help those kids. And if I went back to teaching high school or being a college professor, I'd be a helper. That's just what I do. And that's who you are.
Right.
I don't think you're done forever. It sounds like that as close as your profession is to what the hurt that you have, it seems like a break makes sense. And that might be 2 months. That might be 3 months. That might not be forever. It may look totally different, but you're going to be someone who loves and serves and helps other people. I can't think of a better thing for you to do than to get with a group of moms who've had your experience. They're in Denver, Colorado. And the idea of that on the outside sounds like hell, and I know that. The last thing you'd want to do is go have this conversation with 15 other people. Grief demands a witness. Somebody has to hear your story, which means you have to speak your story out loud. And other moms who have been down the road a little bit further than you, and other moms who are just are still raw. That's what healing looks like. And I'll even throw dads in there, parents in there. You understand this intellectually, and your body is overwhelmed. You experience something that the human body is not designed to experience. No parent should find their child who's passed away. No parent should hug their child who's passed away. No parent should bury a child. It's not the way this thing works. And so the healing out of this is going to be unique, and it's going to take other people, and it's going to take a mission of some sort. Before I let you go, will you say, "I'm worth being well"? I want to hear you say those words.
I'm worth being well.
And I'm worth being loved.
And I'm worth being loved.
And I'm worth laughing one day.
And I'm worth laughing one day.
And I love my baby boy.
And I love my baby boy.
And it wasn't my fault.
And it wasn't my fault.
You're a brave, brave sister. And thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. Please, 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 please make a call today. Make one call to a group and say, today's the day. Circle your kids up and say, hey, mom's been really struggling with brother's death. Even though it was 2 years ago, I'm still struggling big time. And I will be for a long time. So I want y'all to know. Today's the day. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that your son passed away. I'm so sorry that you're hurting like you have been. Your family's hurting.